Hi there, it's Tanya, and Happy New Year! 2020 has arrived. How exciting! Everyone keeps on saying this is going to be the year. So very appropriate topic that we're talking about today. So thank you for joining. Tanya, Botanicamy, alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. And the reason today's topic is so relevant is, guys, it's the beginning of the new year. It's 2020. And I think thinking about it this morning, about why is the beginning of the year always such a big thing for us? Why do we always go about setting all these intentions or having these goals or New Year's resolutions, as we call them? Why does that happen in January and not during the rest of the year? If you think about it, Chinese New Year isn't even in the beginning of the year. So do they set their goals at Chinese New Year? I had a couple of big thought processes going through my mind this morning. So thank you for joining today. And hopefully I can shed some light on some of these questions we all ask ourselves every year. Perhaps I could just give you a tip here and there so that you can switch your mind to maybe not setting yourself up for failure so much like we always do. Because let's face it, we all do it. We all set these intentions. We all have these goals and then we don't reach them. And then it's like you're setting yourself up for failure because then you're like really sad if you don't get to them. And there can be various reasons for this. So let's touch on a few of these today and see if we can't change our thought processes a little bit or slightly to help ourselves to not get so sad when we don't reach things, or perhaps set up our goals a little bit better, or set them with more intent so that we do actually reach the goals. Fantastic. Oh, I can see more people are joining. Hello. Hi, Hetty. Thanks for joining. All right. So, as you join in, it's actually quite nice to see all the hearts, especially in New Year's with the 2020, with all the hearts coming up. All right. So I think the biggest thing we need to tackle right on head first is why do so many people not reach their goals, and why do so many of them actually let go of these goals in the middle of Jan? I mean, it's like 2 weeks into the new year. You've just set these amazing things. What happens that you just actually within the first 2 weeks decide, hey, you know what? I actually can't deal with this. This is too much for me. Or maybe I was just a little bit too over enthusiastic about these things. Okay, so let's unpack that a little bit and see why most of us, because it's the general population, it's very few people that actually do reach their goals. And the reason is we're setting ourselves up for failure. Yes, right. But the first thing is that I think most people's most people set up their goals for the wrong intention or for the wrong reason. So I'm going to give you an example. Say, for instance, you are a little overweight. Perhaps your goal has been for the last 5 years that I want to lose weight. And it might not be because you yourself actually believe you want to lose weight. What if it is a family member that's telling you to lose weight? Or your daughter, for instance, telling you that, hey, you know, Mom, your knees are really sore all the time. You're struggling up the stairs. Don't you think you should do something about it? You know, and these are quite harsh things, but it's reality. I mean, the only real people that tell us these things that hurt us deep inside is usually a family member. And our first reaction is knee-jerk and rebelling because what do they know? Number one. But you always got to consider where it's coming from, and it's always from love, especially if it's a family member, because they're just trying to get you on the right track. But if you've set yourself up and said, I want to lose weight, because someone else has told you to lose weight, have you physically committed to that goal? Is it you that decided that? I think not. Okay, I'm going to give you a very good example. I, for very many years, was a very heavy smoker during my years when I was studying at university. And, you know, my mom always asked me to quit smoking. She just kept on telling me how bad it was for me. My grandfather actually died of emphysema. And you would think that all these warning signs and all these, you know, like really bad messages on the packets would tell me to quit smoking, okay? But it was because I hadn't consciously in my mind made the decision. So even if I had the New Year's resolution to quit smoking, Probably would have quit for maybe 2 or 3 days and then just started again, because it is a physical addiction, which is really hard to deal with. But I think the mindset is not there. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how I quit a little bit later on and how it actually happened. But I think we set ourselves up for failure. So we've got to physically decide what it is that we want. Not your partner, not your sister, not your mother, not your kids. It's not about them. This is going to be the time where I'm going to tell you to be really, really selfish. And this has got to be about you and only you. And you need to know, what do you want? What is it that you really, really, really want? Energy flows where the mind goes, okay? And if you have set an intention and it's something that you really want, there's some people that believe the universe is going to respond and get it for you. Okay, and it's not just that, because you're focusing on it all the time, you're going to be consciously making decisions to actually get to that goal. Okay, so you've got to physically sit and think, what do I really, 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 really want? Think back to when you were a child. Okay, not all of us were tantrum throwers. I might have been one slightly, my sister a little bit more than slightly, but it's literally, think back when you were a child, when you walked through that, let's call it even just a grocery store. I don't know, you saw that chocolate on that shelf and you told your mom, Mommy, I want the chocolate. Okay, and if you didn't get it, if she didn't buy you the chocolate, you would probably plonk yourself down on your bottom in that shop, not caring about anyone else around you and what anyone else was thinking about you. And you would scream and throw a tantrum until your mom just got so embarrassed that she actually just bought you the chocolate so that you would shut up. Just think back to that. I mean, how easy was that? Number one, you had no preconceived ideas about what anyone was going to think about you because you threw a tantrum to get what you wanted. But your heart was set on that chocolate. And you were continuously, for those couple of minutes, focusing head on that is what I want. I want that chocolate. I want it now. Please get it to me now. And the universe responded in a way in that stage. I mean, you couldn't write down something then yet. But basically, at that stage, you knew what you needed to do to get that chocolate. You needed to throw a tantrum, okay? Because your mom got really embarrassed. And that's how simple it is. Let's unpack it and make it as simple as possible. You have to decide what it is that you really, really, really want and what your reasons are. Because if you know what the reasons are, you're definitely going to be able to get to that goal a little bit easier. Okay, goal setters are usually very fueled by temporary enthusiasm. So there's quite a lot of people in the population that are very dependent on inputs from other people. Okay, so they're not necessarily go-getters. They're not necessarily it's because they don't know what they want, right? They need input. They need constant motivation from other people instead of dealing with their own inner emotions and getting inspiration and using that to fuel themselves. And I think that the thing there is literally, it's just they haven't decided yet what it is that they want. Okay, so if you're one of those people that says, I don't have the time to sit down for 5 minutes and think what it is that I want, your goals need to change. Your priorities need to change, because we do have time for everything. Time is a human concept. We designed the clocks. We made them, okay? So it is literally shifting your priorities and sitting down, okay? If concentration is something that you struggle with, start using some essential oils to support your body to get focus, okay? Put frankincense in a diffuser around you, or take a sniff from a bottle, and just allow yourself that 5 minutes a day to sit down and consciously decide what is it that you want. I read the book quite a few years ago when it came out, but I don't think it actually I didn't make the switch. The light bulb didn't go off in my head until I rewatched a video or a movie called The Secret the other day on Netflix. And I think because they put it so practically, I finally got what it is all about, okay? And that's the thing. You need to, if you're not someone that can determine these things for yourself, get some mentors, listen to various versions of the same thing from different people, because there's just something that someone is going to say that's going to make that light bulb moment happen. And right through that movie, what it literally is there needs to be an action plan. And for you to have an action plan, you actually need to know what you want. You need to know what the end result is. And you yourself need to imagine yourself that you already have that. Okay, you've got to experience, you've got to feel what it is that you feel when you've already got it. And you know, for instance, let's use the weight thing again. I really want to lose weight. Okay, why do you want to lose weight? Why not structure the goal differently, number one? But you now determine, okay, I want to lose weight. So imagine yourself thin, okay, and how you feel and how excited you are and how good your joints feel that you're no longer putting so much pressure on them, that kind of thing. So it's more about the action plan, the little steps that you're going to take to get there. Okay, here's an example. Let's go back to my smoking thing. And the reason I'm thinking about the smoking thing is over New Year's, we actually had a friend over who literally chain smokes, and it drives me insane because obviously, you know, the ex-smokers usually become the worst ex-smokers because they can no longer handle the smell, that kind of thing. I mean, I think, yeah, 2006, I literally made the decision in my mind in the middle of my PhD, probably the most stressful time ever, but I made a conscious decision. I need to quit smoking now. I cannot deal with the smell and the fact that my breath was always not good and that everything around me was just horrible paper. And let me tell you, I actually got to that realization. I started thinking about quitting smoking during my master's. So it was a very lengthy process. It took me a good couple of years, and it's because of the physical addiction, yes. But I remember still in my master's, I had this very teeny tiny flat that I was living in and renting as a student, okay? No money, so very teeny tiny. And I would go to the university during the day, and those were the days with the stiffies. So I would have my thesis that I was busy writing on about 12 to 15 stiffies. And then I save everything on there in the different files, and then I go to the university and I go and put them all in and save everything to the hard drive. Takes you about half an hour or whatever, depending on how slow your computer is. And I was downloading and whatever. And I used to take all my research articles that I was writing my literature review on. I used to take them home with me and then take them back to work or university with me. And I remember putting down the papers and walking out the office, going to do something in the lab, and then walking back and thinking, good heavens, who's just had a cigarette in my office? Like, what is that? And I realized it was actually the paper. So I had all my articles next to me, and it was literally the paper that had absorbed so much of that smoke, because that's what I was doing while I was in my flat, while I was writing until 2 or 3 in the morning, is the smoke was just going into this paper. And that was sort of my first thoughts of, hey, this is not good. This is not something that I want to be associated with. But it took me a good couple of years. And then I would quit for a couple of days, and then a friend would offer me a cigarette, and I would just be too stressed. I've got to have the cigarette. It's how our minds play tricks with ourselves. But literally in the middle of my PhD, I got to the realization that I have to quit this now. This is not going to be me. This is not what I want to be. And it was like just a switch. And that switch is what you need. It's that absolute, I want this. I know I'm going to feel amazing if I quit smoking. This is what I'm going to feel like. And that was a goal that I set. And the steps that I took to get there is little things, but it's not I have to quit smoking and just sitting around doing the same thing every day. It was the writing it down, because I actually then made a diary. I wrote it down. I said, I would like to quit smoking. And then I started writing down how I would feel that I was going, once I'd quit smoking, okay? And I imagined it. And my task list or my action plan that I wrote down is number 1. Okay, day 1, I've got to have my morning coffee without lighting up a cigarette, because it's the associations, okay? So that was my first small step. Having a coffee on day 1 in the morning, no cigarette, okay? Then on day 3 and day 4, I started taking it little steps further. I would make a plan of going out with my friends to a social kind of scenario, whether it be a bar or someone else's house where we were having a party, and physically having the social interaction with people, or whatever it is that you are drinking or eating, without having a cigarette. And those are the small steps that I took. And those first 2 weeks were havoc. I mean, now I think, oh man, just do it. Just make the decision and do it. It's so easy. And it wasn't, guys. If I think back, it was really difficult. Those first 2 weeks were absolutely mayhem. I was so aggressive, and I just kept on going with my goal. And the reason I could carry on with my goal is because I had a plan. I had my action plan in front of me. Day 1, I was going to do this. Day 2, day 3, day 4, this is what I was going to do. Now, I mean, I wish I knew this then. I would have had essential oils that could have supported my body with the addiction and the the cravings that your body had, but there's it's literally the mindset. Okay, so instead of thinking I need to lose weight this year, how about going about saying I want to be healthier? Okay, now healthier is not just losing weight, because there's a lot of things like being too skinny as well. Okay, but being healthier is I would like to lose weight. Why? Because I would like to lower my cholesterol, or I need to get my blood sugar stabilized because I really suffer from brain fog, especially at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. All of those things are related to weight and what you're eating. Or I would like to be able to go out for a meal in a restaurant and not finish all my food, because then I feel really bloated and gross and yucky afterwards. And then I feel really sorry for myself because I ate too much again. You know, those are the small things. So yes, your end goal might be that you would like to lose some weight for 2020, but rather focus on the health benefits that it's going to give you. Say, okay, great, I want to lower my cholesterol. Are there other things that I can add to my life or to my body to support it? Yes, there are. Lemongrass is a very good essential oil to start off with. Or you could start thinking about all the uplifting oils, because when you have those sugar cravings, when you start eating a little bit less and eating less carbs, or whatever it is that you're going to do in your action plan, things like grapefruit can help. So it's literally writing it down. And I think that's the biggest thing. We forget that our minds are exceptionally powerful, and that what we're thinking on a daily basis is actually what we are consciously conjuring up that our life is going to be like. So if I sit here today and think, it's going to be so difficult. Oh no, I can't do this. Oh, but I need that chocolate. Oh no, what am I going to do? How am I going to even how am I not going to be able to eat all that food? Your mind is thinking food, 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 food. I can't do this. I'm useless. I can't do this. I can't do this. Food, food, food. So what are you doing? You're thinking about food all the time. What do you do when you think about food all the time? You want to eat. It's as easy as that. So shift the focus, okay? Shift the focus and think about something else, in a sense where I'm going to be lowering my cholesterol, I'm going to be switching my foods, and rather focus on the foods that are good for you. And let's see, okay, great. Because generally, if you eat switch those foods and you eat the better foods, even if you're eating in large quantities still, remember there's the snowball effect, right? And as soon as you start losing a little bit of weight, you're going to start feeling a lot better about yourself. The confidence is going to go up. And then you get the snowball effect where so today you only did one small step, but tomorrow you might do 2 steps instead of 3 because you're feeling a little bit better about it. And then you've got this amazing snowball effect going. And I can see there's a little bit more people that are joined in. Thank you so much. I think the reason why I talk about all these health things, so, you know, my goals are never or mostly health related. And the biggest reason for me is without health, life is really not life. If you feel like horrible every day, if you don't have energy, or, you know, if you feel bloated all the time, or your tummy hurts all the time, that's no life really. Okay, so that's why a lot of my things are health related, because I know when I'm feeling good, when I have energy, I also am a lot more passionate, I have a lot more getting to go, and I get stuff done. Okay, so that's why mine are always a little bit more health related. And I can actually see Kim just joined. Hi, Kimmy. I'm going to steal something that she posted about the other day, and I found it incredibly powerful message, right? When we just focus on putting goals in the beginning of the year, again, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Why not set a goal every single month? Why not have something in the beginning of every month, or even in the middle of every month, once you've reached that goal? But I think what Kim mentioned that was really, really powerful me, and you can go and follow her page. There's a lot of good info on there on Pure Truth. But basically, you've got to end your year, or if you're going to be doing it monthly now, you've got to end whatever it is with intent. Okay, and make it a conscious decision and living in the moment. So because we don't celebrate enough, I don't think it's literally, oh, we got this job done. Oh, fantastic. Let's go to the next one. It's never, hey guys, look at my list. I just ticked that off. I am awesome. We don't do that. And because we're no longer rewarding ourselves for things that get done, I'm not saying go and reward yourself with a hamburger, because then you're just going to be back at square one again. Okay. but reward yourself in a sense where maybe today you give yourself 5 minutes extra walking on the grass and grounding. I mean, that's a very good way to reward yourself. To give yourself a little bit of free off time, but please go that route. And if you're thinking about it and you're living in the moment, even 2 minutes is going to make a difference. And you're going to feel less overwhelmed, and you're definitely going to get more done. Okay, so I'm going to read through a list that Kim posted on her page the other day, and it's where you literally make a conscious decision to end your goals or your year or your month intentionally, focusing on what has happened, how far you've come, and what it is that you want out of the future. Okay, so number 1, what made your year or your month unforgettable? And write it down. If you don't write it down and you don't see it, it's going to be 2 seconds, it's going to be in, it's going to be out, it's going to be gone. Okay, write it down. What did you enjoy doing? Okay, and I don't do this enough. I don't laugh enough. And why is that? Because I don't remember to write down what made me happy. And then it's just literally, I've just done this. Okay, great. Let's do the next thing. Let's go. Because I'm always energy. It's write down, what did I enjoy doing this year or this month? Okay. And smile about it. Have gratitude for it. What or who is the one thing or person you're grateful for? We all have someone that we're grateful for, or something that has happened that we're grateful for. Not thinking about it, not intentionally writing it down or putting it and discussing it and focusing and putting in your brain is going to just let you carry on without ever realizing or remembering what it was that you were grateful for. What was your biggest win in 2019? I know what mine was. I found the most amazing essential oil company and started my own business. Wow, that was a big win. Took 40 years to get there. Who thought Tanya could be an entrepreneur with so many amazing like-minded people around her? What did you read or watch or listen to that you really enjoyed in 2019? Not, if you keep on thinking about that horrible movie you watched the other day, or that really ridiculous book that you wasted your money on, you're going to keep on focusing on that. And are you going to ever find good reading material again? Probably not, because you're going to be focusing on the negativity of those things. Rather focus on what you read that was amazing, or a movie that you watched that was amazing. Okay. What did you worry about most, and how did it turn out? I'm a worrier. I'm an A-type personality, always just thinking about what's going to go wrong. And I've literally made a conscious decision that this year I'm not doing that. Because in the end, I'm worrying about stuff that I can't change anything about. Okay, it's so important. And if I'm going to keep on focusing on that, I'm just going to keep on worrying about it. And nothing is going to change and nothing's going to happen. And I'm going to keep on doing the same thing and nothing's ever going to change. And then expecting things to change is like really stupid. What did you worry about? And then think, did it help you to worry about it? And if it didn't, what's the point? You're just going to make yourself sad. Okay, what was your biggest regret and why? We all have regrets. None of us are perfect. We all make mistakes every single day. From the tiny jelly bean that you put in your mouth. By the way, I've just found that is what's part of my eczema. But that is a regret. Why did I put that jelly bean in my mouth? Yes, it's gluten-free. Yes, it's got natural flavors. But no, Tanya didn't look at the E numbers in there, the emulsifiers and the preservatives and everything else. And I know I'm sensitive to those, but it's holiday time. You want to treat myself. Bad choice. That was a regret, okay? Now I've got to deal with the eczema on my skin for like a couple of weeks because of a couple of jelly beans. So we all have regrets. And think why it is a regret, so that you can move on from there and build on from there and perhaps set up new action plans to not go that route again. Because if you consciously think about it, not focusing on it for like 3 or 4 weeks, literally writing it down and letting it go, because then you can forgive yourself and you can carry on and you can improve. Okay, what is the one thing that you changed about yourself this year that just gone past today? We're in the new year. What is the one thing that you changed about yourself? Okay, and this is going to be good or bad, all right? But write it down. It's good to go backtrack and see these things and see what the progress is, because again, remember, then you get the snowball effect. What surprised you the most? Oh, I like that one. There were quite a few things that surprised me this year. This very shy, introverted person actually got out of his shell, and I'm able to hold online live classes to many people. And I have a very big friend group now where I usually only had like 2 or 3 that I trusted because I'm just too scared to have new relationships. And that's definitely something that I've changed about myself this year and that I really enjoy. And that really surprised me that I was actually capable of doing. And then if you could go back 1 January to 1 January 2019, what suggestions would you write down for yourself for this year? Okay, so there's some 10 pointers. If you didn't write them down now and you want to go and write them down because it's a really good exercise to do, just to see how far you've come, you can go and find Kim's page. It's called Pure Truth on Facebook, okay, and go and get those 10. Really, really good thing to do. Right, and then if you're someone, I'm gonna have to touch on this a bit because not everyone is capable of doing these things that I've just mentioned now and just quitting smoking or just losing weight. There's quite a few people out there that really struggle with this kind of thing, and they've got a little bit further to go before they get to the stage where it becomes easier for them to start the snowball effect. Okay, so I'm gonna just name one thing. Say you're someone, there's a condition that they actually call now it slipped my mind, hang on 1 second. It's a type of depression, it's a type of emotional thing, and I'm actually going to refer back to one of my favorite books. There we go. When you're suffering from depression that they call lethargic depression. So this is literally someone who suffers from an emotional condition where they can't even picture themselves getting out of bed in the morning. Okay, it's that hard. It's life is just so much for them that they can't even get that first foot out of bed. So in those kind of scenarios, obviously it's going to be a little bit tricky, more tricky than just listening to Tanya and going really sitting down and deciding what your why is and what you really want, like that child, like I was when I wanted that chocolate in the store. Then it's going to be a little bit more tricky, and then it's time for you to get the help of a friend or a medical professional, or get a book. Okay, you can lie there in the bed and you can order online. I mean, that's just the best thing. The only thing you're gonna have to do is walk to the door to go and fetch the courier guy, open when the courier guy comes, just to open the door. But life is really, there's a lot of things that have become a lot more difficult, but there's a lot of things that makes it really easy for us. So instead of thinking, I'm so depressed, how am I gonna get out of bed? My goal this year has got to be happier. Instead of just setting that very large goal, is number 1, wake up with a smile on my face. Okay, that's an easy one step. And when you're smiling, the feel-good hormones are already just starting. Okay, so it's almost infectious. So if you smile, everyone watching now, just quickly give yourself a smile. Not a fake one like that. Give yourself a smile. Is it like an instant dopamine rush, like an instant I feel good now kind of thing going, okay? And that's your first little step. Second step, get your phone, go on to Takealot or online store. I don't know where you buy books. Maybe you just buy an online book, then it's just on your phone. You don't even have to go and open the door for the courier. Go and buy a book that could support your health needs with something as easy as essential oils. Because remember, essential oils are so good for your mood. Limbic system, couple of seconds can change your mood in a second. Okay, go and get this book if I can just suggest something. It's a really, really good book to have. And then if you flip to something called lethargic depression, there are 3 different blends. So someone here is actually showing you what little you can do, very small little task to support. Now, firstly, if you've gotten the book, there's another tick off your list. Not, now I've got to read the book. You've literally just done something. Already, I've bought a book. Okay, I'm already 1 step closer to where I need to be. Okay, then you page to lethargic depression and 3 oils, which, by the way, I realized this morning are 3 of my favorite aromatic oils. Maybe lethargic depression is something that I deal with on a daily basis. Grapefruit, rosemary, and frankincense are apparently really good in supporting your body to get you up and go. And I found that really, really interesting. Then there's a moderate blend. So if you need a little bit more support than just the light, oils that can really help you are cypress, lemon eucalyptus, and geranium. And if you think about the combination of that, I mean, I love the smell of geranium and lemon eucalyptus and cypress. So putting those 3 together might just do the trick to get your 1 foot out of the bed. And then there's also a lethargic a deep blend. In other words, a little bit more powerful, a little bit more potent, a little bit stronger. And there's just so much help out there, guys. There's just so much help. Get yourself an accountability partner if it's something that you need someone to get you through this kind of scenario. Okay, but I think that the biggest focus for me is writing it down, because if you write it down, you are going to focus on it. You are committing yourself to what it is that you want to do. Having pie in the sky ideas is always going to be pie in the sky ideas. You're setting yourself up for failure. Tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and think, oh, yesterday I wanted to do that and I didn't do that. And then you're going to be so depressed because you didn't get it done. Just don't even go there. Okay. New Year's resolutions, I say, taboo. I say set yourself goals. Focus on what it is that you really, 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 really want. Okay, go back to where you were in that supermarket when you were a child, what you really wanted. It's that. I really, really, really want that. I'm going to throw a tantrum to myself if I don't get what I want. And focus on what it is that you really want. Not what your mom wants, not what your husband wants. Yes, my husband wants me to smile more, but it's one of my own goals too. So that's why I know it's going to work. Life can be serious. I've had a tough year like most other people have. But just waking up with a smile is one step closer to getting to the goal of being a happier you and focusing on having more joy in your life. Okay, so that is the action plan, right? If you are interested in learning more about essential oils and how they can support you in this journey to reach your goals, pop me a message. If you come to the decision that you actually want to start, I don't know, what's the word? Becoming an entrepreneur like I did in 2019, if that's something that's interesting to you, or you just want to have a little bit more information, pop me a message. If it's life coaching you need, pop me a message. We have got a very big network of people. I've made so many amazing new friends this year, like-minded individuals that are so willing to help other people. Pop me a message because I can get you into contact with them for help. And if you want to start a business, why not start a business in wellness on the side? It's really enriching. I don't know, I've had a really, really tough year. I guess you all saw my Facebook posts in the last couple of days where I really seriously needed to reflect and see how far I've come with the help of Kim's beautiful questions, because she just set me straight on to realize what I need to be thankful for. It was hard, but I also had the most amazing year meeting the most amazing new people, like-minded individuals who have the same health goals as I do, which makes it a lot easier because you're part of a support group. You're not doing this on your own. There's so many gazillion million peoples on this earth, people. Get yourself people that think like you, because we all need a support group, as introverted as we are. Yes, and let's have a absolutely joyful, happy 2020. If you want to include wellness in your life and you want to become someone who helps other people with essential oils, natural health remedies, if you're really interested in the science behind these things, because that's my thing, please send me a message, come over to me, I will help you. And yes, let's make 2020 a little bit more inspirational. Let's focus our minds, stop doing things just for a couple of minutes, be selfish, decide what it is that you really, really want out of life, make time for yourself, write them down, and if you can't do that on your own, you need help, again, pop me a message, and then let's work out an action plan together, because there is just really so much support out there. Yes, and if you have any suggestions for particularly any health challenges that you're dealing with, that you need help with, send a message to me as well, because then we can start working them into the schedules for my lives that I run every Thursday here on my page, Botanicamy. And yeah, hope to see you all soon. Cheerio. Bye-bye.